so today's tutorial is going to start with a bass. So often we forget how important the lower frequencies are to building a foundation and an emotional impact with our music. So we're going to start here with the bass and go from there. So I'm going to use Hive 2 for this example, but feel free to use any other synthesizer of your choice. So I'm going to drag Hive into my track. Let's go ahead and make it bigger so you guys can see this. And what I'll do is I'll initialize the preset by right-clicking here on the top menu, and I'll go ahead and put this through the bass bus. There we go. And I will start with a sawtooth, okay? And I'm just gonna start with a sawtooth by lowering the cutoff filter here. Hear those low bass frequencies, very good, okay? And what I like to do, I'll add some unison here, maybe 4 or 5 voices of unison up the D tune here, okay? Get some stereo spread. Maybe I'll lower down the width a little bit. Okay, very nice. And what I like to do is I like to combine a default sawtooth with another waveform. So what I'll do is I'll put oscillator 2 through filter 1, and I'll come over to oscillator 2, and I'll switch it from sawtooth here to wavetable. And then I'll pick a wavetable. It doesn't matter. You can see I have lots of wavetables here. Let's go with anomaly 4. How about that? Maybe we'll pick a wavetable here. Let's go with one of these. How about this one right here? Oh, that's cool. Nice. So you can hear the combination of the two waveforms. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, and what I like to do is provide some motion with that wavetable. I created this wavetable for an old Vital sound set called Anomaly 4. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and put my LFO here into sync mode, and I'll change it to 4/1. And I'm going to drag the target over to the cutoff here. Okay, this is going to give us some motion. If I add some modulation here, some motion in our LFO at a synced rate, which is going with my DAW at 4/1. All right, maybe I'll lower my tempo down to like 77, somewhere around there, 78. That's fine. And what I'll do is I'll drag the LFO over to the position slider here on this wavetable. Okay, this is wavetable 2 here. I'll just drag it over the LFO over the position and add some modulation here. So you can hear as the LFO opens up, it's also moving the position slider of the wavetable, giving us some more motion. Now, if you want even more motion, you can use one of the function generators down here. All right, these are extremely powerful. It's almost like having, make noise masks like right on board of Hive 2. So what I'll do is I'll switch the mode to cycle on and off, all right, which is basically a looping envelope. And I'll go ahead and up the attack, up the decay, and I'll drag the envelope over to the cutoff filter here, add some more modulation. Now, Hive has a very unique way of showing you the modulation in Hive, which is really great. A lot of synths don't do this. But on the scope here, you can see it defaults to the audio left and right, so we can kind of see the waveform. But if you drag any source of modulation to the scope, you can see that modulation in real time. I love that. So you can see the effect of the modulation that it has on the waveform. You can do this with any source of modulation, so we'll drag the LFO up here too. So you see that LFO. And what I'll do here for a final touch is I'll take LFO 2 and I'll switch it to random hold, and we'll change the restart to sync 1/1. And I'll drag this over to the attack time of our function generator here. And I'll put it in reverse. So now our envelope is sometimes going to start a little faster, sometimes it's going to be slower. There we go. Very nice. I like that. We can see the LFO here having its effect on function 1. So that's good. We've built a nice foundation here, not done anything crazy, but again, the low end is where we find all of the emotional impact to our music, all right? So before we leave here, I'm just gonna add quickly a compressor here onto the sound. Nice and fat, very good. Maybe we'll up the low end a little bit here with the bass frequencies, lower the mids, up the highs. Very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay down a MIDI clip here. I will lay down a 16-bar MIDI clip. Okay, and again, we're playing in C sharp minor. Let's go ahead and find that note. There we go. And we'll go ahead and draw on our note. We may change the bass note later. We might put it a bass line, but we're just gonna start with a 1-note foundation for now. All right, so now that we've got our bass in place, it's time to work on the atmosphere. Now, for a pad, you could literally use any other synthesizer here. It doesn't have to be Omnisphere 3, which I'm going to use, but you could use Pigments, you could use Vital, whatever you have, right? But I'm going to use Omnisphere because that's just what I'm into lately. And Omnisphere does so much more than just pads, but you know, it's a great machine to kind of get you started on doing things like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on shared for now, and I'll go ahead and up the attack, up the decay, lower the sustain, up the release here. Maybe we'll add a filter here, lower the envelope down. And what I'll do is I'll put it on independent. And what that means is that all 4 of Omnisphere's layers are going to be independent from each other now. So we've kind of got it all set up already. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just play the default oscillator here. Okay. Okay, that's just the default sawtooth. I like that. Let's go ahead and go to 2-pole here. All right. Now, if you want to, you can switch on the unison right away. So I'll go ahead and up the detune here and up the depth here. This is like a sort of kind of fake unison, but not really. I think it's actual real unison. Nice. But like I showed in other tutorials, you have a mix slider here, which is really cool. So it's almost like you get a free width control. So I can right click on this mix slider. I can modulate with an LFO. Let's go ahead and lower the depth down here. I'm just playing like an A, C# 9 or something. Like, you know, lower the width down. There we go. Nice. We can also use that same LFO on the cutoff here. So we'll modulate with LFO. And we'll switch it to LFO 1. There we go. Nice. So that's cool. Now you could stop there, or you could go even further because Omnisphere has 4 different parts. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add another oscillator here. I'm going to find something in the Factory 3.0 library. This is my favorite place to go these days because they're all new. It's like all new sounds. So let's go ahead and go to ratings here. We'll find something like, I don't know, how about fractured fiddle piz drops? I have no idea, right? Let's go ahead and turn off layer A, go to layer B here. See what this sounds like. Oh yeah. You hear that? So with a sound like this, what you could do is just immediately granulize it, right? So you can put this through the granular engine here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So then again, the mix slider coming in clutch here, okay? Modulate with LFO. So we're gonna modulate, we're gonna make it bipolar here. Modulating the amount that's being granulized, or even I don't know how to explain it. It's providing a mixture of the granulized signal and the original signal. I love that. That sounds really good, okay? But this is just one layer of Omnisphere now, okay? So we could go ahead and switch the filter here to 2-pole. And we get a nice loud sound out of those fractured fiddle piz drops 1, right? If we want to go even further, we could go to effects layer B here. Remember, in independent, you have 4 different layers of effects. We'll go to racks here, and I'll open up the racks and I'll go to colorizers. How about cut through? This has been a good one for me lately. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right? So now we're really shaping these tones. Okay? And we'll go ahead and add back the original pad here. Yeah. Very nice. Oh yeah. Now, for effects, you know, we've already added the cut through onto layer B. What I think I might do is just use my own send effects here. All right, so we'll switch to the pad bus here. I'm gonna go to add some delay here. With layer A, again, that's my Valhalla delay. You guys have seen this in lots of videos so far, so it's just a dotted 1/8 note dual delay with Valhalla delay. And my Pro R2 reverb, which is my favorite reverb, although Future Scan has really got my attention these days. So anyway, I'll launch a farewell. Let's go ahead and add that as well. Oh yeah, those pits drops. Oh my goodness. Pizzicato. And at this moment, you understand why I started this tutorial out with the foundation is so important. Because once you reach this point where you're just blissing out with atmosphere, the foundation is hive. It's that bass note. It's that low frequency. So key and so important. Okay? So let's go ahead and lay now this pad down so we can continue on our little ambient adventure here. All right, we'll make a 16 bar loop. And I'm holding down a C sharp minor 9. I don't know. This is something like that. I'm turning off the fixed grid, or actually let's make it 1 bar and then I'll turn on the fixed grid later. So we're laying in that chord here. And should I go minor or should I go major? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm kind of feeling major actually. My tutorials have kind of shifted. Maybe I'm moving over to the light, I don't know. All of my music is still in, let's go, C sharp. Oh yeah. Let's go with that. All right, we'll switch it to major here. There we go, and we'll drag some of these notes over. I don't know, I'm just feeling major chords lately. I just really calling to me. Let's go ahead and restart this. So we're starting with a sus. That's good. Sus 2. And then we're adding in this, I guess, 5th note here. Nice. Oh, I love that pitch drops. Those are so good. Now, we don't have to be done with the pad, right? We don't have to be done with it here. So we can add another layer on, because that's the fun of Omnisphere, is you kind of get what you get. Well, the getting is good. So let's go ahead and go to all Spectrasonics here, and let's just go again to the library, the new one. And let's add some hazy gleam, number 1. Oh yeah, let's start again. Starting to get a little wider there. I hear that. Let's solo this layer. Controller command, hit the layer. You can solo it. There's the hazy gleam. Let's use a compressor on here. We'll go to dynamics. Precision compressor, the old standby. Oh yeah, very nice. And you know, the question comes up, okay, do you want to start mixing reverbs and stuff? I get asked this question a lot. What's better, send effects or internal effects? It's really up to you, honestly. Like, you can use, oh, listen to that. Oh my God. Oh, I just got inspired. There's another note in here I want to hit. At some point we gotta hit A sharp here. Let's hit it over here somewhere. I'm just gonna bring it in. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah. This is another level on Science of Life today. Okay, so back to my topic. You know, as much as I love internal effects, like sometimes it's better just to use send effects because the math is different. With a send effect or a return effect, you get 100% dry plus 100% wet. But sometimes it's really effective to use, you know, a internal effect, right? So let's do that here just as a test. We're gonna use the velvet verb on like a 75% mix here internally right here on that, just that one layer of sound, okay? I'm gonna up the time here. We'll switch to ambience. Or how about Hall 2? There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. You hear that? How now we have that deep, cavernous velvet verb here. Only on one layer, mind you. That's only on layer C. So, different effects here, right? Like it provides a whole new level of depth if you're mixing and matching, because the reverb is going to interact with the other reverb. Your mileage may vary, but like I recommend trying everything and then finding what works for you. I like this. I like this atmosphere. This is good for me. Okay. Now, again, we're kind of at that point where, oh yeah, that's cool, but like there's something still there. There's a lot missing here. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Yeah. Why not? Signs of life. All right. So let's go ahead and maybe we'll use another synthesizer. Another thing that I like to do is I like to mix and match, right? I like to kind of play with synths like I would, I don't know, because you get the different contrast between the different synthesizers, right? And let's use a preset here from Chromatic 4. This is my last sound bank for pigments that I did this year. I'm waiting for Pigment 7, if there is going to be a Pigment 7, to do another one. So let's do Solar Nebula. How about that? This track is very Solar Nebula, isn't it? Oh yeah. And with a lead, we can start to hit those notes that were kind of like missed, right? But this lead, to me, it doesn't sound big enough. Like it doesn't have that, like, you can hear it again. And this is, again, going back to the internal effects versus send effects, okay? So I'm gonna turn off effects B here. Delay, reverb, and shimmer, okay? I'm gonna turn it off completely. So now we're just running a dry signal, and I'm gonna crank up my reverb and delay. And now play it. Yeah. That's more like what I'm looking for. Because with a send effect, you're gelling these things together, right? They're all going through the same reverb. Therefore, they're going to have the same reflections. They're going to have the same, all right. So let's go ahead and record this by hand. Let's just go ahead and, going old school here. Oh yeah, very nice. Press play. There we go. Shorten this up here. Crop clip to time selection, and there you go. Now that's a little loud for me, so I'm gonna turn it down. Okay. Now, if that's not enough, I'm gonna go ahead and just solo this. This is Solar Nebula here. If that's not enough cavernous for you, you might decide, okay, well, let's grab another reverb. Why not? How about future verb? How about it? Y'all get it? It's dope as hell. Love it. I'll take a preset that I made for my Patreon group here. Let's use Pristine Horizon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. And we'll move this into a C sharp here. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Outer space, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Outer space. You know, if you ever, you know, one of the coolest comments that I got recently on YouTube, I just want to mention it here, was somebody was like, yo, like I'm watching your videos, like I watched your videos for a while now, but I finally decided to look you up on Spotify. Now I have 3 Spotify accounts: Signs of Life, Ascendant, and Synphaera. Okay? Signs of Life is me, my chill ambient project. Ascendant is me with my partner Dawn. We do Ascendant together. We've been doing it since 2012. And Synphaera. My latest album is with Synphaera. That's my solo project where I go deep space ambient. So if you want to listen to something good, go check out Memory of Light from Synphaera on Spotify. You're welcome. Because some people are like, oh, you just make videos and I don't know you do actually made music. I'm all about that life. I make that music. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to it. This is real stuff. I live this every day. So go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right. So we got this. We got this. Solar Nebula is now sounding gorgeous. All right. Again, this started from a preset. And a lot of the times I'll take a preset. I mean, I made this preset, but I'll turn off the spatial effects, light delay, reverb, and shimmer. And I'll just go with something, you know, a little more high quality, shall we say. All right. And this is the verb of the hour, shall we say here. Absolutely lovely reverb work from Sean. I mean, Sean is a genius. 8 years of R&D went into this thing. So shout out to Sean. If you're watching, y'all did it again, man. Proud of you. All right. So now that we got that established, let's rename this Solar Nebula. And we will rename this one. This is our Omni 3 pad. This is sounding good, man. I like it. I like it. Let's round this off here, shall we? Shall we? Okay. I'm going to take my old standby. Well, it's not really old. It's kind of new, but it's my go-to. Let's take this and we'll build our final pluck here. So with envelope 1, you want it around half a second, maybe a little more. Envelope 2, same thing, a little bit shorter. And we're going to turn on filter 1 and make it a 24 low pass filter. Okay. We can switch from MG low to low 24. I've been getting better results with the low. It has a little bit more resonance to it. And drag envelope 2, which is our second envelope, mind you. Envelope 1 is tied to the amplifier. Envelope 2 is a free envelope. We're going to tie it to the cutoff here, okay? It comes in as bipolar, which is bi-directional. We don't want that. We want to go Control, Alt, or Shift, Alt, click. Alt on a Mac is Command or Option or something. So then I'm going to lower the modulation down. Remember, one direction. Unipolar, one direction. Bipolar is 2 direction. Unipolar is 1. Okay, cool. And now let's go ahead and add another waveform, just like we did the bass. You know, I don't see basses and plucks that far away from each other. They're actually quite close. So I'm going to use another wavetable here, and maybe we'll use something from Ancient Technology 3, for example, right? The sound set that I did for Serum 2 this year, which was freaking amazing. Yeah, I'm working on AT4, Ancient Technology 4 right now. Should be out before the end of the year. Okay, so let's now put that, make sure you put both oscillators through the filter, okay? And we'll go ahead and lower this down. Add this here. Now, normally I would use a sequencer or something. But what if you don't have a sequencer? You know, that's the question. What if you don't have a sequencer? That could be a real deal. Like some people just don't have one, you know? And if you just got a DAW, maybe your DAW's on Ableton. Obviously, these tutorials are for any DAW, really. But like, what if you don't have, a DAW? Well, go old school, man. Like, just go old school. And what that means to me is programming in the sequence that you want to hear. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna make a 2-bar MIDI clip, okay? Just 2 bars. And maybe you might consider just knocking it out, like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like they just going old school, right? Like that to me is cool. That to me is cool. Okay? So we got our little, okay? Let's make sure this is free running. Right? Obviously, no effects yet. No effects, just straight up, okay? Excuse me. So let's go ahead and just pound this out. Okay? Okay, we're gonna go to an E sharp, F. Let's put it on the headphone button. There we go. So that could be the way it starts. All right. And we're gonna put this through the synth bus here. We're gonna lower down the level a little bit. Let's make sure everything is adjusted. And like I mentioned, I use a dual dotted 1/8 note delay. Okay. So I'm gonna crank that up. I'm gonna crank up my reverb. Okay. And this. This is what it sounds like. Yeah. So you see I have that same envelope 2 pinging the wavetable every time. For a little more variation, you could take a sample and hold, smooth it out, put it in monophonic mode and move that wavetable back and forth. Maybe we'll lower down the rate here. But you see, like, there you go. I mean, that's like gorgeous. And so, once again, I've shown you that music like this is not only possible, but it's within your reach. Because I firmly believe that everyone can do this. And I met someone today who was like, you know what, I just knew that I needed a teacher to help guide me. So if this is you, and you want to work with me one-on-one, like this, and you really have it inside you, you feel like this is what is calling you inside of you, the link is down below in the description. But hopefully what you've taken away from this tutorial is seeing some insight from somebody like me who's a professional in the field, who's working, doing the thing that I love to do with joy, with happiness, and with gratitude. And that means to you, for me, it's also possible. I can take Signs of Life's teachings and I can go out there and I can make the music that I've always dreamed of. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And even at my advanced level that I am, I always have the feeling that we're just getting started here on this channel. So thank you for your time, your energy, your attention, and your presence. And I'll be back again soon with more videos just like this one. In the meantime, take good care, you guys. And as always, Keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. I'm Chris from Science of Life. See you guys in the next video.